Lolo, vacation's over, son. Time to dust off that stoop, you know what I'm saying? It's finally here, 21-22. Premier League is back and we're back with the Stoop crew. Mark and Lolo on the stoop talking nonsense, not doing research, just talking from the content. James is back in action talking nothing but Leeds. Naji's running with the facts, being the villain that we need. Can't attack the German gunner and Liverpool Chris. Jazz rapping Man United, Lala taking the piss. So sit back, don't relax and get your comments in, cause we're back on the stoop, so let the nonsense begin.
What's going on, football fans? It's your boy Lolo. I'm back on the stoop with Mr. Mark here, of course.
Week 1 in the books!
Week 1 is in the books, y'all. Big up to the stoop crew who's in the house. Ben Ireland, Jimmy, Bremner's Ghost, and Anders was here. I think I saw Mr. Tom in the comments there. Mark, welcome. It's not very hot, but it is a tall boy type of day. All right,
it's
man.
a drink beer like our former president.
So this is kind of the new format that you guys got to be looking forward to this season. So we will be coming to you guys every Monday at this time, 5 o'clock, going live. And we will be just breaking down as much of the match week as we possibly can.
Whole week.
We're going to be going through, talking about our club, his club, Leeds,
your club.
Chelsea, your club. And if we don't talk about your club enough, it's because you're not in the comments enough. So if you're like, enough of the Leeds United, then
be a Stoop crew member.
Then comment more than the Leeds United fans, which is a big ask. Then we'll be coming to you Tuesday nights with our live fantasy football update.
Should I sign up for that?
You haven't signed up for that? Well,
I don't know how to play fantasy. I'm an old man.
You click the buttons and it tells you what to... Oh, my God. So the Stoop Crew has a fantasy football league. You guys should join it. And if you don't have the code, it's because you're not part of the Stoop Crew. So sign up for the Stoop Crew. Get that fantasy link and join us. And we will be discussing all the fantasy nonsense and looking at the leaderboard and all of that tomorrow. And then, Thursdays will be weekend watch list, and Friday is happy hour, and that is our week. So let's get right into it. Oh, and don't forget, everybody, as you can see down here, don't forget to go to onthestoopwithlolo.com. You can sign up for all sorts of discussion boards. Talk to people about fantasy football, about Premier League, about your club, about whatever you want. It's a great place to talk football all week long. And you can also buy all this cool merch and all sorts of other stuff. I know I just ordered a baby onesie with Lawler's face on the butt, so I'm sure he'll like that. Let's get to it. First match of the week was Brentford versus my Arsenal. The Mighty Bees versus the Ars. We talked a lot about this on Friday, so the only reason I'm bringing it up is so if you have anything to say about it, you can.
Brentford, welcome to the party, and also welcome the fans, because that was raucous. It's a small stadium. I know people were complaining about how that little baby stadium is, but 17,005 got the job done. And Brentford looked like they won Euros. They're out just shirts off. Frank Thomas, I don't even know his name yet. He's out hugging babies and kissing women. I don't even know.
This is what
Arsenal has to do better than that. They have to play better defense, and God forbid you guys sell Aubameyang and Lacazette, because then you're fucked. You ain't got no veteran leadership.
Oh, because we did so well with them last year. We did so well. Moving on. Now I get to talk about his club, which I gotta say, at least they did look better than Arsenal. Leicester City are another club that people are thinking will be in the Champions League again. I think they just missed out last year again.
Yeah.
But they'll be in the top 5, top 6. They are a good club, especially if we can't take Madison off of them. But talk to me about Wolves. What happened?
I think,
missed a bunch of...
Oh, my goodness. But let me say this. That was the most exciting Traore has been in the last 18 months. He looked good. He couldn't finish. And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to put him in the list of bad finishers, because there's some bad finishers in the league. But he couldn't finish. But he looked interested. He looked engaged. He looked happy. And I'm also going to say I'm really happy about that Francisco Trincao kid because he was running his ass off and getting involved, and we came very, very close to nicking a draw. Very, very close to nicking a draw. Look, Leicester is lazy in the 2/3 of the pitch, but in the final third, they tighten up. And I think another thing to maybe give credit to the Wolves is how quick they brought in Vestergaard.
Who? Leicester.
Yeah.
They brought him
in pretty quick, like almost right after the half.
Okay.
Yeah, so that says to me, it's like, you know what? We're a little worried about their offense. We got to get an extra defender in there.
You know what? You're starting to sound like Najee talking too much football. What I want to ask you about is how do you feel about Jamie Vardy scoring the goal and then howling like a wolf?
You know what? I
is
didn't
that about?
even
What is that
care.
about?
I didn't even care about that, because Jamie Vardy.
He's
look,
trolling you to your
look.
face.
Look, that mini cross comes in. He
loved
sticks
it.
like
I loved
left
it.
foot outside. Don't even need, he's like, fucking Mr. Fantastic twisting his body around.
So you're going to allow him
and he
to do
got
that?
it. And you know what? Vardy can do whatever he wants because that was a pretty goal.
That was a pretty goal. It's
It was
typical
a pretty
Vardy,
goal.
though.
It was very, very. We got Vardy
against the run of play.
And last year when we lost
Yeah.
1-0 to Leicester, we got Vardy.
We got Vardy as
again.
well, the same thing.
But I'm gonna feel good about the Wolves. I think we got something
They
to
look
build
better.
on.
They
we
look
got something to
better.
build on. I
Yeah.
like the attack, not so much relying on
And
the
with
counterattack.
Jimenez actually getting some game time,
yeah.
he's looking better.
And you
Traore,
know what?
Traore will finish those.
He will.
finish those.
He will. I really like the way that Bruno Lage got Traore more involved than he's ever been in a really long time.
Okay, good.
So.
Moving on, we spent too much time on the Wolves, but hey, good. Congratulations. We both have just as many points.
And we have
You
just
know
as
who,
many goals.
You know who else we have just as many points as? Ooh. So we were saying on Saturday morning.
Is someone playing to display his skills for the national team of France for the World Cup?
No, he's like it's time to move on. So I need to start playing. French Pogba showed up. But first of all, I just want to say that sucks for all of our Leeds United fans because I thought Arsenal losing to Brentford 2-0. Yes, it's still worse in the grand scheme of things, but I know how big of a rivalry that is to all you Leeds United fans, and that really sucks. And there's lots of reasons behind all this. There's lots of reasons behind all that, but you guys don't want to hear me talk about that. So let's bring in the number one Leeds fan in the United States. Everybody give it up for Mr. James. James.
He's still picking his teeth. He's so angry.
That was like the...
That was like, yeah. Oh, that gave me it's killing me.
It's
so spicy.
I'm still hungover, man. I told you, I'm still hungover after, after my post-match drowning my sorrows, which went on essentially for 48 hours. So I'm just starting
yes, Ben, we do, by the way.
to recover. It was difficult. Yeah.
So listen, do you put it all on? I mean, it can't all be on, but is the majority of the reason that you guys suffered that way, is it Calvin Phillips not being in the lineup?
Look, look, Bielsa knows best, right? I mean, his take on everything was that Calvin had a lot of time in practice because of his extended time with England during Euros, and of course, I think they gave him like a couple weeks off to recover, and then he comes back. But I think you have to play him, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but I think you have to play him, right? And like I said, where he was sorely missed was after the equalizer. Because then that's when everything seemed to fall apart. I mean, it was like a complete loss of composure. I mean, everything, the gap between Koch and the back four was tremendous. I mean, and Pogba, exploited that gap tremendously, as did everybody else on their team. I mean, they used the high press to pressure our wings and our halfbacks. I mean, our fullbacks. So they weren't able to like do a lot. It was crazy, man. It was just crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you're totally right. After the equalizer, it seemed like Leeds United got pumped up and everyone went, and bigger holes, as opposed to the calming leadership that was needed out there to go, all right, hold them.
Yeah.
Now we got them, hold them,
and
we'll get our chance.
I also think it was a case of, like, there was a match last year, and I don't remember who it was, but Leeds scores to equalize, and then the celebration is, like, very, very short-lived. And I think that was definitely the case today. But I just can't really
and that might have been Chelsea.
Why
That might have been the
decides
first
to sit Calvin Phillips, you know, because, oh, he's tired, or, oh, he needs a rest, when, like, someone like Richarlison, who...
Martinelli, Richarlison, they were just in the final.
They were just in the fucking Olympics, like, a week and a half ago, and here they are starting, and not only starting, but performing.
I mentioned to Ben Ireland, one of our Stoop crew members right here, Ben Ireland, who said he didn't know why Calvin Phillips didn't play, and I said I think it was something about fitness, and then Ben said Bielsa doesn't put you on the bench if you're not fit enough.
Right.
So to me, it's like if Calvin is
fit,
good enough
play.
to be on the bench,
Well,
that's for me like
we
not
didn't
playing soccer. If you're good enough, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you should be fit enough to play. And then if you're tiring, then we can pull you off.
Right. Well, I think a lot of that, like in the post-match news conference, I think a lot was lost in translation because he was asked that question. And he said essentially that he thought that Koch brought more, dynamic play. I mean, I don't know what it was crazy. I mean, I couldn't decipher it, so I had no idea what was going on. But then he had said earlier that Calvin had a lot of time with the team, and therefore that's why he didn't start. And he felt more comfortable starting Koch in that position, who'd been playing CDM for the entire preseason and played it some last year. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, Fernandez just dragged him all over the pitch. I mean, it was ugly. He couldn't do anything to stop him. Rodrigo was just a liability on defense. I mean, like, he was just caught way up pitch, far too much.
Not only on defense,
completely out, take himself out of the play and caught out of position, and then it was just, it was a jailbreak.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
crazy.
It was a perfect storm of you guys not being sharp and crisp. Like Rafinha's passes were not crisp from the beginning.
Oh, no.
A bunch of passes were just missed. And then Pogba and Bruno having the best games I've ever seen them have. I've seen Bruno get a hat trick before. But this was like, we were talking about the goals, and they were quality. Like, they were well played. Like, somebody mentioned Meslier had a bad game, and I was like, look, for giving up 5 goals, I thought he had a pretty good game, because he had a pretty good first half. He looked crisp and good. The first goal, an incredible pass by Pogba, an incredible first touch, and then immediate, and he still got a foot on it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt after the first half, I felt pretty good. I mean, to be quite honest, I felt like, look, we're in this. We'll make some adjustments at halftime. We'll bring on Calvin. We'll bring on Firpo. We'll move Dallas back up to central. I mean, to central midfield where he belongs. And so we'll get some more opportunities there. And 2 of those things happened. I mean, we brought on Firpo, and then Dallas. We moved Dallas farther up, but Calvin didn't come on. And I was, looking at my brother going, where's Calvin? I mean, this is not, come on. You got to bring him on now. It's now or never. And he's got to be fit enough to play, 30 minutes. I mean, come on. So bring him on after the goal happens. Bring him on then 30, 35 minutes. Come on.
I got a question for the Leeds fan and Leeds fans that are watching the show right now. Now, it's kind of the last thing that I want for Patrick Bamford, but how did he lose like a bunch of weight? He looked super gaunt. Patrick Bamford. He looked like
he just grew a beard, so it makes him look thinner.
No. He didn't have. He He's clean shaven.
No, he's not.
Anyway, I don't know. He looks like
He's got a
he's
scruffy
dropped
beard now, Lord
easily
Bamford.
15 pounds.
Yeah, well, he
I'll call
was.
him up. I'll ask him.
I mean, he was a complete non-factor. He received no service. I mean,
Nothing.
if you look at the heat map for Patrick Bamford on Saturday, and there's
You're not going to eat
slight
a piece of toast on it.
in towards the top of the box, and that's it. I mean, he wasn't able to get any sort of space in there. Yeah, I think he had one opportunity on that delivery for that header. It could have gone. It could have been 1-0 at that point. I think he sent the header wide. It was between him and Rodrigo, but I think Bamford's the one who got his head on it. It was I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It was not a pretty second half, that's for sure.
Bremner's ghost. You think the same thing? He's too lean.
Yeah.
I feel he's leaned down, and I don't like that.
All right, well, fellas, we can't talk to the God without talking to the devil a little bit. So let's get him in here, Mr. Naji.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Hey, guys, how are you?
You want to tell us why we're wrong about all of our assessments and how good Man United are?
First of all, I hate seeing Man United winning. I hate it.
There you go.
I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, just to start, But I think it was a balanced first half between Leeds and Man United,
Yeah.
It was a balanced first half, and then Leeds United, the crowd was all over the place. They were chanting, but Leeds didn't care in the first half. They played their game, and here you go. United score, and Leeds equalized. And can we play some defense? I mean, you didn't learn from last year when you lost 6-2 to Man United? Could you change a little bit the system, the tactics? That was the best Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes game I've ever seen. It's their best games in the Premier League. Although Fernandes had the whole summer off, but that was his best game, because he didn't play in the Euros. He had the summer off,
He had to go. He had to run around the pitch. He just didn't play.
I mean, I hate to give the scum credit for anything, but I will say that their high press had a lot to do with that. I mean, if you saw, as soon as Ayling or Harrison or any, like I said, our fullbacks or wingers ended up with the ball at their feet, you had 2 or 3 scum players surrounding them. And there was no link-up play between Ayling and Rafinha, which was so effective last year. That was completely severed. That supply line was severed. So you had nothing kind of coming up the middle of the pitch. Harrison, I think I talked about this last season, but the knock on Harrison has always been that he doesn't really keep the ball well in tight spaces. He's not very good at that, making something happen when he's surrounded or he's got a guy who's pressing him closely. And that happened the other day. You saw Harrison give up the ball quite a bit and turn it over, and we were just it was just a mess. There was no flow to the match on our side, like you usually see. That free flowing, Bielsa style was completely non-existent. So I don't, that was interesting, and give the scum credit. It's like I said, you're talking about 400 million quid, starting 11 out there versus an 80 quid. 80 million quid starting 11. So you just an 80 quid, 80 million quid starting 11. And it's
Leeds. To me, Leeds looked like they had a 3-hour practice just before the match. They looked kind of like that. They've just had just the sails taken right out of them. They looked tired.
Leeds.
They like I said, they looked like they did a 3-hour training session with Bielsa doing the murder ball practice, and then are expected to play, and they look slow.
You could have walked up
Park
here.
your car,
Park
son.
your car.
Park your
Everybody always trying
Suzuki. He drives a Suzuki.
Do they sell Suzukis anymore?
I think he bought it off of Mr. Suzuki.
Yeah, Jesus.
Just the guy that has the deli down the way.
But look, I'm not worried. In a match like that, it's like last season too, man. Look, those kind of matches are going to happen against teams with quality, like the Scum have, and like Chelsea have, and Man City. Those matches are going to happen. That's just inevitable, I think. I want to see us go up against, teams that are more equal to. Like this Saturday is going to be, kind of a better indicator of where we are when we play Everton, as opposed to, where we are when we play the Scum or Chelsea or Man City or Liverpool or what. I mean,
I'll just be worried a little bit because of the preseason that Leeds United have. I mean, they lost 5 of the 6 games they played.
Yeah, but
Bielsa never has a good preseason, man. Bielsa teams historically don't do well in preseason. It's just not. That doesn't concern me. I mean, preseason is preseason. You're right. We didn't look great. I will admit that. And then there were errors. There were areas of concern. I definitely agree with you there. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Look, 5-1 to the Scum. It was. I wouldn't say predictable, but when they're hitting on all cylinders, they're a tough team to beat, especially with the weapons that they have up front. They have an arsenal.
I mean, we were watching Leeds celebrating the equalizer, and then all of a sudden it's 3-1.
That's what I'm saying. We lost composure. We lost direction there, and that's where the leadership of Calvin Phillips, I think, could have come into play, and it just was obviously not on the pitch, and so there was no one to kind of take control of things.
I got a quick question. So we've talked quite a bit about the absence of Calvin Phillips. What about the absence of Llorente?
Yeah, it's a big
deal. I think that maybe they missed Llorente a little bit more than Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, Llorente is huge, man. That's a big loss.
Yeah, they improved defensively last year in the second half of the season when he was available and he was, in the heart of the defense last year, So they missed him. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out, but that's a big loss.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the one case of that, I think, was you saw when Greenwood scored his goal, and he beat Strauch, but Cooper was really late getting over to help out Strauch. So you saw in that instance, I mean, what Cooper doesn't bring to the party. And with someone like, Llorente might bring, I mean, Llorente's at the fleetest of foot, but I think he understands positioning maybe a little bit better than Cooper does. So, I mean, Llorente always seems to be in the right position. And then we missed that, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, bottom line, guys, for you Leeds United fans, I would say you should be a lot happier than Arsenal fans right now, because you guys losing to Manchester United at Old Trafford, first match of the season, first time with fans back. It was going to be a huge ask to even draw against them. They have, as you saw, a lot of the home teams won, period.
Yeah. And not one single draw this week.
Is that true?
Not one single draw.
Wow. But the majority of the home teams won, I believe.
Except Newcastle and Norwich.
But Newcastle played very well.
It was a nice
Norwich
game, yeah.
Against Liverpool, I mean, they weren't ever going to win that.
And Church is going to be rocking this Saturday morning, Saturday morning for our time. Saturday afternoon.
I'll tell you a stadium that's going to be rocking. It's the Molineux. Nuno's coming home. That stadium is going to be ripping one way or the other.
So all I'm saying is brush it off and go, okay, we got that shit out of the way. Moving on. Like, Arsenal can't even say that.
Did you say moving on?
Moving on.
Moving on?
Yep, moving on. Okay, guys, we're going to burn through some of these lesser matches right now, and we're going to talk Burnley-Brighton. Did any of you guys watch that?
I
don't think anybody watched it, but I know that Burnley was up. I know Burnley was up 1-0.
Yeah, very early.
They gave up 2 goals to substitutions, goals they shouldn't have given up. A defense let Burnley down. Never expected it, but this is just a blip. I think Burnley is going to be okay.
I think Burnley and Brighton. I
got Burnley going down, so that. I got Burnley going down.
Battle it out for
never miss.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think Burnley's going down.
That's a 6-pointer there.
More seagulls watched it than fans. Very clever, Jimmy. What a goal by Bill Ayling. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That goal could be contender for goal of the week.
Could be
That's mine.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell anybody, James.
Now people are going to log off.
Watford Villa. Everybody talking
That's
about Villa being okay without Jack Grealish. Villa are good. Don't sleep on Mr. Sar. He will make you sorry, just like he did Liverpool 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When Liverpool were going to be... I know every Arsenal fan in the world loves Sar because he ended Liverpool's undefeated season.
Yeah.
So they didn't have an invincible
I am
season.
I am very surprised that Sar stayed with Watford
For 2 seasons. For 2
in the
seasons.
in the championship. You know,
Yeah.
that was
He was amazing for them in the championship.
He did,
And
he did.
He is kicking off. But by the way, I thought it was going to be Sar and Dini causing all the trouble. But it's
Dini
these other
didn't
guys
play.
that I never
Yeah,
even heard
no,
of.
Dennis.
They've got a
Dennis.
solid
Dennis?
squad.
Dennis was very good.
and he got
Summer?
injured actually.
Summer?
Suriname.
Serna?
Yeah.
Watford's got a very solid squad. One of the reasons why I don't think they're going to be relegated this season.
We have to start second guessing that. And Villa, I thought you had a better defense, but I saw them getting eaten up.
Don't forget the crowd played a huge role in this game.
Once again.
Yeah.
Home crowd. James, anything to say? Nope. Moving on. Okay. Because just in case you wondered what James was thinking, that is exactly what James is thinking right now. Okay, so moving on to Everton.
That pretty much sums it up.
Everton, Southampton. Southampton scored the first goal with their new signing.
Yeah,
And they're going like,
Nada.
we're not going to be relegated.
Yeah, I know.
And then what happened? What happened?
Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin with a diving header. That was like classic
Actually,
Calvert-Lewin.
Richarlison was the star of the show here. Not only does he put the ball in the back of the net, but he serves up Calvert-Lewin just
You know,
beautifully.
Rafa Benitez is a very smart coach.
In
He
only
played
a
it.
spot where Calvert-Lewin can dink it in with his head because he will sacrifice his
Laying
body.
flat. Laying flat.
Yeah, he was like Superman coming in. Woo!
God,
Yeah.
I love those diving headers.
He's
man.
like-
when they're not
he's
against
like-
my club, I gotta love them.
Let's play simple. 4-4-2. Two wingers. We got two good guys with headers. You know, Calvert-Lewin is a big guy. Richarlison is a big guy. Let's put some crosses in. Let's get some goals. You know, it was very simple by Benitez and a smart move by him.
Very
Yeah,
simple.
absolutely.
Yeah, and so Everton get through, and you know, once again the home team won. James, anything to say? Okay, moving on. Let's
He's
go.
like, wait, I actually watched that game.
No, we didn't. Let's moving on.
I was thinking about watching because I was going to scout them for this upcoming weekend, but then I just said, nah. You know, it's not Leeds. I don't give a fuck. So, all right.
Newcastle West Ham. I gotta say, this was my
Very nice
favorite
game.
match of the weekend.
Yeah.
This
I
was
gotta
the
agree.
most entertaining
I
from
gotta
start
agree.
to finish.
What? San Maximin, like what about that? He like,
If he can stay healthy, they will not have a problem.
but he didn't do it to anyone. He did it to Declan Rice.
To Declan Rice. That's what I was
Yeah.
telling him. So I got a lot to say about this later on in the show. A spoiler alert.
But I gotta say, West Ham flipping the script, going down
'Cause they are a
early
better team.
and rising
they are
up
the
to
better
win.
team.
Guys,
rather
was that a
than
penalty?
Last season, no, it wasn't.
No.
a
Penalty?
No.
But to see West Ham instead now come down and rally and score a bunch of goals. This is a West Ham team I want to see rather than last year,
If
where they
Antonio
were
can
just
stay
kind of
healthy-
holding on. That's a mighty big F.
If he
I
can
actually
stay
would-
healthy.
Mighty big F.
You did, James? What
Yeah,
did
but
you
I
think?
was hungover and I don't remember a lot of it. But well, actually, I was probably still drunk. But yeah, it was. No, I said last year. Remember, I said that Saint Maximin is everything for Newcastle. Remember when he was hurt last year? They looked like they might be relegated. People were saying Newcastle was going to be relegated. I said, well, once Saint Maximin gets healthy, they're
Yeah,
a
he got
different team.
COVID last year.
You
he
know,
got
they're a
COVID.
different team. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't
so,
think that was a penalty. That was harsh, man.
but the
Soft,
yeah.
and there were other ones like the one in the Leeds match, which on Tyler Roberts, which could have been a penalty. There was one in Arsenal that could have been a penalty, but they called this one, and so I don't know.
I don't know. The way he bounced right back up to get to the ball tells me it
But
wasn't.
that to me is a player being a player, and
And
when
that's
the
the-
play
that's
breaks down,
that's
they
the way
should
the game
call
should
it.
be.
They should
And he
call
missed
it.
the penalty too. You know, like it's not like he
Yeah.
scored it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who did not put a man on that guy?
Never a pen. That's Suchek, though. Suchek.
Yeah, Suchek
Suchek's
scored.
got a nose
He
for the
kept
ball. I
himself
know,
on
I know.
side, too.
I've watched him play.
So
And Antonio too, man. That guy.
Yeah,
that,
Antonio is a beast.
that was a pretty goal.
good.
Yeah.
But Pablo Fornals had a good game, and Bowen had a very good game as well.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Ben Rama is going to have a good year. I'm telling
yeah.
If they can keep that,
he may become the Jesse Lingard that they're missing. So.
oh my goodness.
Moving on, let's go to Norwich, the Canaries. It's not the Canaries.
It's the Canaries, mofo. I actually that's what I should have said. It's the Canaries.
The Canaries.
The Red Boards.
That was impressive by Mo Salah, scoring 5 goals in 5 consecutive seasons.
Not. That was off of a ricochet. Why is it that people think that ricochet goals are like, oh, it's so amazing?
No, I'm not talking about how the goal was or anything, but like 5 goals in 5 consecutive seasons.
Well, his goal was very good. It was going in without the deflection.
No, the deflection came before. The deflection came before, and he met the deflection and was able. A deflection catches a keeper off guard, and I don't think any of Liverpool's.
He was in the right position.
All of them were ricochets or bounce back. Yes, they were.
Morth, it's all your fault. You guys sold them Jota.
That Liverpool scored that didn't come off of somebody else or the post first.
What do you mean? First of all, his was clear in. He kicked his straight in.
It came off of a player. And
it was a free kick, and so yes, it bumps around, and he gets it at the edge of the box,
it gets served,
and then he kicks it in.
Comes out, comes off a player into Salah, and then he's able to score. Come on, why get excited about? Why is that so amazing?
Because he kicked it from outside the box, through like 12 players.
Yeah, it was good, Mark. It was good.
And not to mention the other one,
good.
The Firmino goal. Salah set him up, and he tapped it
Another ricochet goal.
It was not a ricochet goal.
Watch the tape.
Ricochet like 30 seconds before it all happened. They still made
goals,
all that happen.
all 3 goals by Liverpool were off of a ricochet. And
well,
it was both.
It's all your fault. You sold them Jota. Exactly. And that's what happens.
Exactly.
But Jota will eat those up, and everyone should eat those up. But
anyway,
don't make them bigger than what they are.
Let me ask you, Najee and James, are we impressed with Liverpool?
No, not at all.
Does this make you think they're in better standings? What do we think?
No,
Canaries are going down.
This is just a case of Norwich being bad.
Yeah, Canaries are going down, so that's not a surprise. And Liverpool just walked over them. They're the worst team in the Premier League this season.
Back the Canaries are mofo.
Are you covering
the Canaries are the quintessential yo-yo team.
They're live right now. We're not talking.
And I don't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of that match. Again, I was drinking and drowning my sorrows, so I didn't get to see a lot of it. But what I saw, Liverpool didn't impress me that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they didn't run roughshod over them like like other teams. So.
Yeah. So moving on to another team, Najee, your team.
Oh wow.
Chelsea Palace.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, based on this performance from Chelsea over Palace, I know I picked Chelsea to win the league. Does this help your opinion of Chelsea, or does it not change anything? Does it show you that they don't need Lukaku? Does it, what does all this say to you? What is this 3-0 win over?
What it shows me is that Guaita did the new manager no favors. Guaita. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't care. The keeper for Crystal made Chelsea look good.
No, come on.
On Marcos Alonso's free kick, Guaita was frozen to his spot.
Because it was upper 90, bro. Like
upper 90.
Nobody's stopping that.
You have to make a move.
Doesn't matter. If he makes a move, he doesn't stop that.
It doesn't matter. You can't stand flat-footed.
That's not even his.
Like a fool.
This is not. He was standing on the other side of the goal.
He's never gonna get
I don't care. Make an effort.
He's never going to get
Make
that
an
ball.
effort. Show me that you've got something going on. And the second goal, he should have been able to stop as well.
That one maybe, yeah.
You know, the third goal with Trev, the young kid, I've never even seen him before. Najee nearly cries.
He was crying.
Because it's just hard to say.
I was
his
crying.
He
name.
was crying because he was like, I signed for
It was-
Chelsea finally, and then
it
they
was-
signed Lukaku. I'm never going to play again.
He's a
At least
defender,
he gets
man.
his first goal.
Oh, he's a defender? I don't know.
I
who
have
we're
no
talking
idea.
Trevor
But
Chalobah.
it was an awfully pretty goal.
Okay, Najee,
But
go
I
ahead.
think this
We'll
is a
let
case
Najee
of
talk.
Crystal Palace looking
yeah.
terrible.
Hold on.
I
we'll
agree.
let
I
Najee
agree
talk,
with the
and then
fuck
Najee,
Chelsea
you'll have some
Chelsea
time.
sentiment that was posted by somebody.
This
And
one-
I will say about that match, I did watch a little bit of that match as well. Look, I don't think you can take much away from a match against Palace.
No.
So
No.
I mean, just
Yeah.
I know.
come on. Palace will be like in the 15th spot, somewhere around there at the end of the season. So it's not
I know.
much competition for again a team that just should run roughshod over them. So it's just it's not a I don't think it's much of much competition.
No, I know. Chelsea, Crystal Palace was dreadful. They were clueless. They didn't know what to do. They were playing with 4-3-3, and then they moved to another position, 3-4-3.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were doing. But Chelsea were professional, and they missed some more chances. So imagine Lukaku playing next week against Arsenal.
Oh, I don't want to think about that because y'all gonna just be ridiculously good.
No, you guys
Enough.
didn't hear? You
Not
guys didn't-
yet.
You guys didn't hear the news? Arsenal signed David Luiz for 1 week and 1 week only.
You guys are gonna save that
And
for the
he's going
Wolves
to
match.
destroy
He's gonna make a
Lukaku
huge difference.
Week 1.
Hey,
Are you?
Boom.
Are you fucking
We-
kidding me?
Headbutt.
David Luiz would disintegrate if he tried to do that to Lukaku. Lukaku's head is like he's like
Guys.
Paul H's characters, the big heads. He's
I just want to
like,
say,
"Oh,
Chelsea were
shit, my head's
professional.
so heavy."
Chelsea were professional, and we started what we left off last year. We didn't concede any goals again. We won 3-0. You know,
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
Yep. Yep. That's what I say. Let's see how it goes. All I can say is if
You beat Crystal Palace.
if you didn't beat them by at least 3 goals, I was going to say
Hey, Mark.
Tuchel is on the hot seat.
Mark,
If you guys only won by 2, it would be like, oh, Tuchel's on the hot seat.
Mark, do me a
You
favor.
only beat Palace by 2.
Mark, do me a favor and call Traore and let him do some finishing exercises right
I
now.
tell you what,
Naji's
if you were
getting
on
mad.
earlier
Naji's getting
and watched
mad.
the show, you would have heard me say the exact same thing. So I'm with you, brother, but I wouldn't be all excited about beating Crystal Palace, a team that I picked to be
no.
relegated.
It's a
Let's
good
see
win.
you beat the mighty Arsenal next week.
Oh, you guys are
do
going to
that.
destroy Arsenal.
We beat them twice last year.
Yeah.
Especially if Lacazette and Aubameyang
Okay,
do
guys,
not play.
moving
and
on.
moving on.
Spurs. Spurs beat City. What do we think about that?
Are you
You know,
watching Harry Kane? Are you watching Harry Kane?
let's be honest. How did Man City start last year?
Exactly.
Exactly
I'm
the
not,
same
I'm not
way.
worried at all.
I am not.
But-
This is just a blip on the
This
radar.
does not
But
make
I'm
me
worrying
feel
about
good.
one thing. They lost 1-0 to Chelsea in the Champions League final. They lost 1-0 to Leicester City to start the season, and they lost 1-0 to Tottenham right now to start the season. So that's 3 games in a row without scoring any goals. He keeps playing that false 9 with Ferran Torres as a striker, and it's not working for him.
But this
Is-
is Pep holding back for the Champions League.
He's not holding
I
anything
nope.
back
He's holding back.
He can't
be
Then
doing
why didn't
that.
Kevin De Bruyne to start?
because he's injured. He came in at the
That
second
was
half.
a completely different team with Kevin De Bruyne in there.
What did y'all think of
If
Grealish?
he starts, it's a completely different squad.
Yeah.
Spurs were very organized.
Grealish is Grealish, but the problem with Jack Grealish is he doesn't shoot when
No, he
he
wants to
should
draw
shoot.
the
He's
foul.
always looking for the foul or for the pass.
Because I figured it out.
Now,
He's got that stutter
I-
step.
Now, Man
like he's
City
shuffling shit.
needs. I hate saying a team that has $1 billion worth of players needs something, but they need a striker.
They do.
They need a
They do.
striker. And
Yeah.
especially with their biggest
120 million on Harry
you know
Kane,
what?
'cause that's
Spend-
unfair.
Spend 30 million and you can have Aubameyang or Lacazette, and I'm sure they would like fucking lead the league in goals, because you have everyone on the pitch there is an assist man on the team. The problem is none of them actually shoot. Well, now Mahrez should have had some goals, and
Yeah,
Ferran Torres should have had a goal.
Look, Spurs played a very organized game, and they ran a lot. Bergwijn is a sprinter. Lucas Moura, Oliver Skip, that 20-year-old guy, he didn't stop running all
was
night.
amazing.
So
There were a lot of players for Spurs that played very,
Spurs,
very well.
listen, they could have had 3. They could have had a lot of things going
and
on.
in my opinion, they have one of the best coaches in the Premier League right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nuno's a calming element to that team.
Yeah, he's
Piss Najee off, man. You deserve everything he's given you.
he organized them really, really well.
But guess what? He's not our coach anymore, and I don't care. Bruno Lage!
Hope Gabriel Jesus isn't watching. Why? He should. He should be. He's not watching any like striker training practice because he's terrible. So guys, let me just ask you, now that we've gone through everybody, James, do you still see Man City winning the league? Does anything change your mind? You picked Man City.
It depends, man. Like I said, last week. It depends on them acquiring another player, and I think they will. I think they're one player away. I think their hand has been forced, especially with Chelsea getting Lukaku and now losing against Spurs. I think they're going to be in panic mode. They're going to be like, okay, who's out there? Who can we get? Who can we overpay for? So they're going to overpay for somebody, I guarantee you. And they're going to bring him in. I don't know how effective they're going to be, but we'll see.
Yeah. And Najee, you picked Chelsea. I picked Chelsea. You picked City.
I picked Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Once they got Lukaku. But before that, I had United.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I had United before that.
United looked very good. Pogba, if he plays like that, if that's what he's going to show us for the rest of the season, it could be United, especially with Varane now being brought in.
There.
So you never know. Actually, I'm going to go with Højbjerg. Or Højbjerg, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pronounce it, but I think he is my man of the match.
All right, fellas, let me ask you, speaking of man of the match, let's go with man of the matches. Who won the week? Who was the player of the week?
I think we can all be in consensus here. That performance by Paul Pogba.
I don't think James will ever say a star player. First of all, he's going to say Luke Ayling.
The performance by Paul Pogba.
I'll never pick a star player, man.
Be
Ever.
denied, no matter who you are or if you love the game.
He could have
make
20
me do it.
assists.
You're going to make me
You
press the button, right?
love.
You're going to make me press the button. Yep.
If you love the game, you love what Paul Pogba did, and he is man of the matches.
Man of the matches. Kantak says Tanganga, and he picked a Spurs. I can't believe you.
Everyone.
I can't believe you. You
Paul
picked
Pogba
a Spurs.
had 4 assists.
Bobby Two Scoop says Bruno. I'm afraid. Wow.
No.
But
Bobby,
that's service from Pogba.
Graham Saunus thought Greenwood was man of the match. Greenwood is gonna be a player. I'm telling you.
He had a great.
Yeah, he was really good.
Play, beating
so
Stoop
quick.
around the corner, but no, it's.
But
Pogba.
the chances that Greenwood missed in a year or two, Greenwood can be destroying any league that he wants.
And he will.
Guys, don't forget, Rashford is injured right now. He's going to be back in a couple of months. So that's going to give them another boost,
He won't be truly back until after January.
James, who do you think won the week? Who was the man of the week? Man of the
For me?
match is, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I was kind of drunk when I watched a lot of the matches or hungover. I'm going to say, for me, I'm going with Antonio for West Ham.
Yeah.
Even though he missed the penalty,
Yeah.
I think
Even though he
did
missed the
everything
penalty.
else right.
He was everywhere.
He did everything else right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's one of
That's a
those
good shout out.
strikers too.
I would
He's
consider that.
what I like about him is he's a striker who plays wide. I mean, he'll kind of circle into the center of the pitch and get to the box, but he loves those wide areas and he uses them really, really well.
Yeah.
And if you watch him play, I mean, he does a lot of things again that don't show up in the stats, where he's dragging center backs out wide, creating space for his teammates, and it works, so Antonio for me.
Yeah. And there you go, Jimmy. Bill Ayling, highlight of a truly crap week. Naji, who's your man of the week?
I'm sorry, I can never give a man of the week or a man of the match for a Man United player. Ever. I will never do that.
Thank you. Finally.
But man of the match, it's clearly the referee.
The man speaks the truth.
We didn't have to talk about VAR. That was great, It was smooth. Offsides were clear. Even handballs.
They put the flag up.
Yeah.
And even times where I was like, oh, he might have been on. The fact that the flag went up, the players turned around and just
even
went
on penalties.
Back, it was like.
Even on penalties,
yeah.
If by mistake your feet was there and somebody tripped, it's not a penalty anymore. You have to mean it. You have to tackle to get a penalty now. So I really loved the referees are man of the match for me. If I had to choose a player, it's definitely Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't watch it.
We're gonna take your word for it, but no.
No, he had a fantastic.
It's fucking
Alonso
Pogba.
Was a lot more.
I love Alonso.
So just to be different from everybody, so that was all good shouts. I'm gonna say Nuno Espiritu Santo. Listen, he knew week 1 is the best week to beat Man City.
Exactly, yeah.
They're only going to get better.
Yeah.
If you don't come in with a very specific tactic, and if you watch anybody talking about that match, all they're talking about is, wow, what a tactical masterclass.
Yeah.
They came in with a plan and executed even to their own fault. Like in the first 10 minutes, it looked like it was the wrong tactic. But they held off enough. They got multiple chances to score. They scored. And in the end, it looked like a very calm Spurs team.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Harry Kane. And it looks to me like he's like, fuck Harry Kane. I don't need Harry Kane. If we have Harry Kane, of course, he's one of the best strikers in the world. But if we don't, fuck off. I have all these other players who are better than my Wolves squad.
Yeah.
I will do fine with them. So
There are rumors.
I would say
not
Paul
only
Pogba, but
not only did Nuno have them playing great defensive football, he had them playing great aggressive football, and also like we're going to be the assholes. We're going to be we're going to be the aggressors, and devil be damned if we're the bad guys. Fine, I don't care. But push them, hit them, kick them, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
And
So the
it
clickbait
showed toward the
internet
end,
rumor.
like, how aggravated was Grealish by the end of the match?
they were like fighting.
He was like,
Yeah, he was, yeah.
out of his fucking like comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
Jack Grealish we're talking about.
No. Well, Jack Grealish. I mean, I think he's a head case anyway. But
He is.
the internet clickbait rumor of the day is that the Spurs may be after Patrick Bamford.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, come on.
And tomorrow you'll read that Arsenal is also after Patrick Bamford because they just want to jump in on anybody else's match.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, yeah, and again, not to replace Kane because they're still confident that Kane's going to stay.
Yeah.
So it would be
they straight up
either
told City
confident
no.
Kane or
Here's my. Go ahead, James.
Let me address Mario here. Welcome to the show. We haven't seen your name up a bunch. Says Pogba had 4 assists. Fernandes scores 3 goals, and you're telling me that one of them doesn't deserve to be man of the week. Paul Pogba deserves a shout. to me, more than Bruno Fernandes. But when there are 5 goals in a match, I'm less impressed with your little hat trick as opposed to a 1-0 coaching masterclass like that. So yes, I think Paul, out of those two, I would say Paul Pogba, yes, man of the week. But no, he already said that. So that's why we said that. And welcome to the show. We talk what we feel. We don't talk.
I just want to reply to Matt here. He's saying, Nagy, you're such a homer. Ref in the Arsenal match was horrendous. Hey, could you blame your Arsenal players here?
Exactly. I can't.
How was the
Yes, we
ref
might have been able to get
horrendous?
1 call, 2 calls, but no.
Look,
I would
There
agree
was a
with
penalty
Najee
shout. There was a
in
penalty
You guys-
shout, but
the refereeing throughout the weekend was. I got no complaints. I watched 7 of 10 matches.
Arsenal were
Conche,
gutted.
100% right there. 100% Conche right there. How are you doing, man? But he nails it right there. Leeds needed Man United Pogba and Portuguese Fernandes to show up. It turned out to be French Pogba and Man U Fernandes, unfortunately.
And it was beautiful.
Glad you heard us, Mario, but stay on the show. Keep commenting, man, and let everybody know what squad you support. I'm not sure if you let us know yet. Nuno will want to sell Kane to have 160 million quid to play with. Wolves are getting raped when that happens. Oh, because Nuno's going to buy all of his players back.
Nope.
Guys,
unless
we are
Nuno
running out of
wants
time.
Ottasowe and some of the lesser players, but we're not giving rid of the
We're running out of time.
goal of the week.
Can I? Oh, you're going to pick a goal?
Well, I'm going to pick a goal, all right.
Okay, let me tell you my goal of the week. My goal of the week is Callum Wilson, Newcastle. Goal number 1 of the match, where, I'm sorry, people saying that the best central defensive midfielder in England is Declan Rice, and I say it's Calvin Phillips. Saint-Maximin danced with Declan Rice back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you know who didn't get dizzy by that? His striker, Callum Wilson. If you watch it from further back, Callum Wilson is dancing with Saint-Maximin like this. And then the one time he goes and actually makes his move, Callum Wilson splits 2 defenders tight for the one of the sharpest assist headers. That goal to me is such, like, that's football to me. I'm sorry. Goal of the week, Callum Wilson, assist from Saint-Maximin, the whole build-up, that whole thing. Goal of the week. Go.
You know, I got to
You're
tell
wrong.
you,
Whatever you're
I
saying is
got
wrong.
to tell you, the movement by Saint-Maximin was amazing. And it was all him, and Callum Wilson got the benefit of all that. And so I don't quite think that that's the goal of the week. The goal of the week was by Ale Decore by Everton.
Yeah, it's a nice goal.
What's his first name again?
Ale Decore. That goal was stupid. So you've got the lead-in header from Richarlison to the feet of Decore, who gets a touch, and James Ward-Prowse is right there to meet him, and Decore puts him on the spin cycle, and he shoots and he scores. That to me was, when I saw that, and I didn't watch it game time, I watched it on a replay, and I'm like, oh my God, my wife from across the apartment comes running over and says, what happened? What happened? I was like, oh, this is cat videos.
Cat video.
Love you, baby.
Okay. You gotta
That
hurry.
to
We're
me
running out
is
of
the
time.
goal of the week.
Decore. Okay, James, goal of the week.
Bill
Exactly.
gets it.
Bill
The one
Ayling.
bright spot in an otherwise grim day.
It was a pretty goal, but he was wide
beautiful
open.
goal, beautiful strike by Bill.
Outside of the foot. Outside of the right foot.
Yeah,
Curling
nice,
into the-
nicely weighted pass by Stuart Dallas. Yeah, that's it. So Bill gets it.
Yep.
And that was the high point, man. We went crazy. We went crazy. The adrenaline was pumping. Optimism, surge of optimism and hope, and well, ups and downs, as any Leeds fan knows, ups and downs. So that was it, and the rest of the match was a downer.
Listen, the commentators during the Man United match, where there were some pretty goals, when it was like 4-1, I think they were saying, we've seen some really good goals, but that Luke Ayling one may be the best one.
I can't.
Dude, it's a defender from 30 yards, 25 yards out, something like that, outside of the foot.
Bruno, the pullback that drops
Anyway,
Messier
Najee, your turn.
to his feet.
Goal of the week is definitely John McGinn from Aston Villa.
That was a good one.
Yeah, passed by Leon Bailey.
At that point.
Oh my God! Go ahead and check that goal again. It's amazing.
The goal's a smashing one. The problem is, why does Aston Villa need John McGinn scoring their goals?
Right.
John McGinn for me is a very underrated player. I like this guy,
But he shouldn't be your goal scorer. They have other goal scorers.
I understand. And guys, I'm a Chelsea homer. Second goal of the week, Trevor Chalobah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you take your tears somewhere else.
I just want to say big love for all you guys. Talking to Mario here, who's letting us know he's an AC Milan fan.
Mario!
New to the Stoop crew here.
Mario, sign up to join the true Stoop
Hey
crew.
man, Giroud scored 2 goals for AC Milan this week.
Who?
Giroud.
Giroud did.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Arsenal player there. He says he's an AC Milan fan, but most I'm a soccer fan, football fan, exactly.
Forza Milan.
That's who we are right here, man. So here we go. Okay, guys, so we got our that. Any burning questions for the week? What is a question that you guys want to see addressed in the coming week? And I'll gladly go first if you guys don't have your questions ready. Anybody got a burning question about this week?
My burning question is this. When is Arsenal going to win a game? You're not beating Chelsea.
Yes, we are.
And then City, right? You guys
We're
play
beating
City?
both.
You are not beating
told
Chelsea.
You, we are going to lose to Brentford and go on a 10-game unbeaten streak.
So question for you, Lolo. Just a question. If you lose the first 3 games, what's going to happen with Arteta?
He will be fine.
He will put his pants on one leg after another, just like he does every morning. No. He hangs upside down. He hangs upside down, so they just fall on him because he's Dracula.
Man.
No, listen.
That's
I don't know.
tough.
I've told you guys that I feel like Arteta has a longer leash than most people believe he has, but I think he's totally allowed losing to City and Chelsea. It's after that we have to start looking at. So.
Okay.
He's expected to lose to Chelsea and Man City.
But that Brentford loss is going to stick in the craw.
The Brentford loss throws a wrench in things.
That's a tough one.
You guys were not supposed to lose to Brentford.
The burning question for me.
How do you not start Saka?
Because he wasn't fit. I don't know. The burning question for me is, what the hell is going on with my strikers? If Aubameyang and Lacazette are leaving, then sign somebody new, or just get rid of them, or tell us they're staying. Figure that out. So for me, what is going on up front? Because before, we had other things to worry about with our defense, our holding midfielders, but now all of a sudden 3 of our strikers are out day one.
Martinelli is your striker. You have Pepe and Saka on the wings.
But he plays
Please
Martinelli
do that.
on the wings.
Please do that.
No, I'm telling you,
Martinelli in
Nketiah
the striker position.
Too small for me.
Saka and Pepe and Emil Smith-Rowe behind.
We're running out of time, guys. James, burning question.
Well, my burning question is going to involve Leeds, and that is, how we bounce back after that loss in the madhouse that is Ellen Road. It's going to be packed. It's going to be crazy. I mean, people have been looking forward to this for 16 years. I mean, packing Ellen Road to watch Leeds play in a Premiership match, and it's going to be insane. I mean, how do we bounce back? I mean, do we feed off the adrenaline of the crowd? How does everything work like that? I mean, it's just going to be, it's one of the situations. Like I said, Everton will be a better yardstick. So then the scum.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So, we'll see how we do against Everton. I mean, we arguably should have beaten them twice last year. We beat them once at Goodison, and then, we lost to them at home. But, so I'm curious to see how we do.
Yeah. All right, Naji, burning question.
I want to see how Lukaku is going to fit into the team. And I want to wish good luck to Tammy Abraham. He just went to Roma today for $40 million.
Wow.
All right,
Where'd he
guys,
go?
well,
To Roma.
He went to Roma?
That's way more than the Premier League would have paid for him.
all right, guys. Well, it's been a day.
Oh, by the way, I should have said 17 years, not 16. I'm like,
17.
last year I lost. We waited 17 years for this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, guys, it's been absolutely cracking being with you guys on Monday. I look forward to more Mondays, same time, same place, a bit more consistency, where we get to recap the week. We get to force James to maybe pay attention to another team. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, join, go to onthestupidlolo.com, continue the conversations with everybody, and you can buy some awesome merch. We will see you tomorrow for the fantasy football recap, which I will be doing, and then Thursday and Friday. Love you guys. Peace from Brooklyn, everybody.
Stoop.